Yo, there's something really strange about the Fragment calendar that was just released for Ugir the Wyrmeater, and everybody seems to be talking about it right now. If you restart your game, you find this champion available in your game. Unfortunately, that means the RSL hopper has been outdated and we'll have to wait for an update before we start going crazy for this event. So I'll go over the Fragment event right now and see if we can do any magic to make it easier for our free-to-play accounts. So that's the champion right here for those going for him. If you're one of those who are skipping out for him because he's not that special, I totally understand. Now if I switch over to my Photoshop, yes, that's it. That's the calendar. Fragment event will be running from November 16th all the way to November 29th. That's a long time. Well, a month, almost a full month. But this champion, it's not going to be an easy one. We looked at it and thought it's going to be easy. Fragments are usually easy. I guess Playroom is beginning to change because you can see right here, that's 110 total fragments that you can obtain in order to get this champion. That's not a lot. That's not a lot. Normally we see 115, maybe 120. But this time around, they made it so strict that if you miss out on any events or tournaments you see right here on this list, you will not be getting this champion. That's the way it is. That's just it. So the first one today is starting right on the dot with Spider. After you restart your game, you see it launching with Dungeon Divers and Champion Training. So that's the first one on day 1 on the 16th. It's happening right now as I do this video, and I'll be going right here and farming the Spider and getting my Dungeon Divers almost done. By the time my Spider is done, I will switch over to Champion Training and start farming Champion Training and see if I can get this 15 fragments. It's going to be a long one. I hope they don't put it at something like 13,000 to 15,000 points for Champion Training. Hopefully it's one of those 10,000 Champion Training points or maybe 11,000 Champion Training points. Let's see. But it's going to be a long one. When I say 11 to 10,000, I mean the last milestone on the Champion Training should be about that amount. But this Champion Training that is running for an entire 3 up to 6 days, it's going to be a very long one. It's already in the game. We can take a look at it to see how crazy it will be, because a lot of people will not be going for this because that's a very long time to be doing Champion Training. So if I go over to my events, you'll find it right here, Champion Training event. That's 7,000 points, 6,150. So they split it 5 and the last point is 8,000. Well, 8,000 is reasonable, and once you hit that amount, you have to stop right here. Normally we see 8,000 to 9,000 to 10,000 for a legendary skill tome, but right here it's just to get 5 more fragments for this champion, and that's the I'm blocking it, but that's right here over my head. That's where the last one is, right here. Champion Training 5 fragments, 8,250 in 6 days. Can it be done? Yeah, because normally 10,000 points events are usually done for like 4 to 5 days, but this one 8,000, I think it can still be done. But for those players who will be greedy and going for 13,000 to 14,000, good luck to you. I'm not going to be trying it even on my main account where I usually chase after every primary shard. I'm not going to be chasing this one because we are going to be doing Spider at the same time. I don't want to start burning my gem on the first day of this. I want to hopefully use all my saved up energy and reach this amount of points before I can focus on any other thing that is happening in the game. All right, so that's the first point of call in this calendar right here. Champion Training is not going to be easy, but it will be very long and end finally on Tuesday. So by the time Champion Training is done, we'll be having Summoning Rush, or while you're doing all this Spider, we're having Summoning Rush on Friday. We are still not quite sure which event will be launching besides the 25x, the new 25x 10 or 10x plus 15x event that is coming up on this Friday the 17th. That's the only thing that I'm sure is coming up. We've not had any news about 2x Void or 2x Ancient. I know a lot of people are still looking forward to it being a 2x week, and that seems like that's when Summon Rush will start right here on Friday. So for those going for this 5, no, that's not even 5. I thought I would see 15 fragments. That's entire 20 fragments from Summon Rush. That means it's gonna make you go the extra mile. Normally we see Summon Rush at 2,150 points or 3,000 points, right? If they put 20 fragments into Summon Rush, that means this Summon Rush will require a little bit more than 3,000 points. That's what it feels like. At least that's what I think they are trying to do, because this entire calendar does not have champion chase. And you know, noob to pro players or free to play players always want to use champion chase as one of the ways they can complete fusions. So by them taking away champion chase from us, for this particular one, it means we will have no choice but to go crazy, spend everything on that summon rush. I don't know if this is a good thing, because normally summon rush 10 fragments, summon rush 15 fragments, we've seen it all, but summon rush 20 fragments is going to be very, very hard to complete, especially if the number of points required is pushed from the 2,150 points to the 3,000 points that we're now seeing to 4,000. Is that the next thing? We'll have to wait till tomorrow to see what this number of points will be right here. This will be the determining factor that will make people want to skip this fusion or go for it. We don't care about all the other dungeon farming thing or artifact enhancement and all that, but this summoning event will be the make or break for most players. If it's the normal 2,150 points, a lot of people will go for it and get the number of fragments required. 15 fragments maybe, but now it's 20 fragments. I think they'll push the points requirement above the normal where we normally see it. For a fragment event like this, for a champion who a lot of people are not so crazy about, I think this might be the reason that the noob to pro decides to skip this fusion. I'll show you tomorrow when this summon rush starts. We'll see the number of points. We'll be able to talk about it more from the free-to-play perspective and see whether we are all deciding to skip on this or still going for it. So that's something that is very, very weird right here. A fragment event that has summon rush with all the points in it, and every other thing has 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 10. Even the long champion training has 15, which is even more hard work than that summon rush. But that summon rush is just a resource drain, which will require you to pull a lot of sacred shards. Not even 10 sacred shards can reach this, right? I don't know how many, 4,000, maybe 8 sacred shards. That would be a lot. That's a lot, because a lot of people come into this with just 1 or 2 sacred shards. On my noob to pro, I even have only 500 or 50 ancient shards saved up and some voids. That's what I'm hoping to use on summon rush. So if they want me to use ancient shards on a summon rush and make the points too high, I'm gonna skip it on the noob to pro if that summon rush is higher than we normally see it. Hopefully it's 20 fragments for 3,000 points, 3,000, so I can use mystery shards to go all the way and complete it. That's the only strange thing about this, that long champion training and this summon rush that has no champion chase coming along. For dungeon divers, I've seen 1 dungeon diver starting 1, 2 dungeon divers, and that's it. So 2 dungeon divers is perfectly fine. So good job, Playroom, for giving us only 2 dungeon divers and not a third one. We hate that when we have 3 dungeon divers to deal with. And even if it's just 2 dungeon divers, let them be not so hard in terms of the points requirements. So speaking of dungeon divers, I have to check again to make sure this first one that is launching is not a crazy amount of points that we have to obtain for these dungeon divers. Is it normal? 3,007. Yeah, I think that's about the normal place where we normally see it, I think, because you have to finish your spider, but you still have a lot of long way to go to hit this 3,000 points, which will make you keep farming the spider after you've maxed it out. That's the new way we see dungeon divers these days, but it's not like it's okay, it's just the new norm. And then for artifact enhancement, we have 1, 2, and 3. As usual, they've still not changed anything about artifact enhancement. They're still giving us 3. And then there, champion training, again, a second one has 10 extra fragments, and this is not the way to go about champion training. You cannot rely on that 10 extra fragments except you are one of those players who have missed out on one event or one tournament, and then champion training, you go crazy to see if you can win that 10 extra fragments. But it's usually very competitive because that's the only source of 10 extra fragments from this calendar. No other way about it. So this dungeon divers is attached to, where is it? Is attached to dragon. So you can wait for dragon to start before you go for this second dungeon divers. That's perfect. And then if your dragon is done and you're still not done, ice golem is still aligning with this same dungeon divers, so you can use ice golem and dragon to complete that dungeon divers. It's good. That's a second dungeon divers is good. First one is good. And yeah, hopefully it's not too much to ask for in terms of gems requirement and energy requirement. Classic arena 1 and 2 normally, and Fire Knight is attached to nothing when it comes up on November 25th. Now, there's something I noticed in previous fragment event also. They've taken away that 5, 5, 5. Now, we normally see 5 over here, 5 fragments for winning Classic Arena. 5 for winning Fire Knight, 5 for winning Ice Golem. That's how we've always seen Fragment events. You win extra 5 fragments for being the first or second in those tournaments. I don't know why that should be taken away. It's not like it's an entire community, or it's like half of the raid community just wins it. No, it's a very small, minor 1 to 2% of players who push hard with their resources and get first place in Classic Arena. Some players get first place in first or second place in Ice Golem, or even some players go crazy in Fire Knight and farm it so hard beyond the required points and push hard for it and get 5 extra fragments. So it's not a high number of people who normally win these 5 extra fragments. So why was it taken away? It makes no sense. I talked about it in the previous fragment event calendar, and now it's repeating right here again, where all the sources of that 5 extra fragments have been taken away, which is going to force everyone, everyone, to complete and get Summon Rush. So this event, you have to do everything now, circle everything. You cannot skip out on anything at all if you really want this Ugir the Wyrmeater. So that's the way the breakdown of this fragment event calendar right here, November the 16th all the way to November the 29th. Summon Rush starts tomorrow. Once we see the number of points, if it's inflated more than 3,000, I will skip this champion fusion. Even on my main account, if it's more than 3,150 or 3,250 that it normally is for fragment event, if they're going to take out champion chase for the purpose of inflating Summon Rush, I will skip it. This is my own stand right here I'm taking, because you took away 5 from Classic Arena and Fire Knight. We're like, okay, cool, maybe you bring it back. Now it's still not back. Instead, now you take away champion chase, which is one of the ways a lot of free-to-play players normally use to complete this event. Champion chase is one of the best ways, because it allows you, even for my noob to pro, that was what helped me get Emic, because it allowed me to come in here and fuse Relic Keeper. You could fuse Razen Epics. I fused this dude in the last fusion. That's why I was able to get some points. You could fuse Broadmoor. There are many ways we use champion chase. Even a lot of people are getting their Lady Mikage Epics ready to fuse into these other ones, right? They are trying to get that done during champion chase, and now champion chase is about to expire or disappear from it because Summon Rush wants to be pushed, because 25x events want to be pushed. I know it seems like I'm complaining because this is anti is it free to play? Just anti-community in general, just to get this champion that a lot of people are saying is mid at best. It's not going to be worth it for my endgame account or for my free to play noob to pro series. It's not going to be worth it. I don't come on here and fuse all this, but at least what I do on my main account is these fragments. For those who got Timid the Fool and Drexstar and other fragments coming up, this is the time we normally summon them and get some champion chase points. So if you're not going to spend money, they don't want you to get this champion. They want you to actually summon your shards, spend your resources to get this champion. And I didn't save 17 fragment secret shards on my main account just to pull it for a new champion. I didn't do that. I save it because I want to save for something that is worth it, and he is not going to be worth it. I'm saving that for a guaranteed legendary event or double legendary event. That's what I'm saving my secret shard for, not to pull 8 or 10 for one Summon Rush. That's a spender mindset. I'm not a spender, so I'm not about to do that. So this is not just going to affect the free-to-play players. It's also going to affect the spenders, because they want all of us to go crazy hard for this upcoming 15x, 20x, or 25x event. And it seems like this is a way to promote it by making sure you don't save anything for champion chase. And that's the way I see it. You guys let me know if there are any other alternative views that I'm not seeing right here in this fragment event calendar for Ugir the Wyrmeater. Are you still gonna go for it, or this fusion calendar just made you change your mind about this champion, or you want to wait till tomorrow to see the Summon Rush points? Hopefully they don't inflate it and make everybody just complain about this fragment event. Fragment events used to be fun, used to be doable by newer players. Now it's going to be impossible, because if you don't have 8 or more, 7 plus, usually we needed 3 or 4, and champion chase would know how to deal with it. Now you need to summon every shard you have to complete this. This is not the way to go. Nutu Pro is not even ready in terms of the shard department. Like I said, only 61 ancient shard. If they make it high amount, I can use this amount of shards to complete summon rush. It's gonna be impossible. All right, let me know what you think about this one. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later, guys.